Everything about the 24 Hours of Le Mans is tougher, an event that has evolved over the past 101 years to test the resolve of drivers, vehicles, and teams. It's a 10-day-long motorsport experience that requires grit, determination, a bit of luck, and months of preparation. Le Mans 2024 will see 62 race cars with their teams, and nearly 350,000 people arrive in central France to share in a challenge like no other. In and out of race traffic containing cars of all different speeds. It's dark, it's usually wet too, 180 miles per hour around a circuit made partially of local streets circling the villages south of the town of Le Mans, with a new car that's still being developed, as if the event itself wasn't enough of a challenge already. Drivers like Dennis Olsen and Ben Barker have been putting in numerous miles and hours of testing prior to Le Mans to hone the perfect setup and find the speed they need to compete. To just make it to the finish here is an accomplishment. To podium or win is to prove to yourself and the world that you have what it takes to succeed amongst the best of the best. The new Mustang GT3 has been on a constant improvement and development cycle since its debut at the 24 Hours of Daytona in January. And at only the fourth event in the 2024 World Endurance Championship season, the car is still being developed. The drivers are still finding the setup.
You know, we came to Le Mans with a lot of questions. Very first time bringing the Mustang GT3 there, so we didn't know how the car would perform or how it would act.
I knew it was going to be a long process of coming with a new car to this GT3 field, but I had belief in Ford and also Multimatic and M Sport that we can make this happen. We can make this car quick.
Man, from the very first session, we were delightfully surprised. I mean, the car right out of the truck had good grip, good speed, good power. It was comfortable to drive, and those are all feelings that give a driver a lot of positivity, on a race week. We were towards the front in lap times through every practice session.
Yeah, car feels good, super balanced.
After a few hints of speed at previous events, the new Mustang GT3 is fast here in practice at Le Mans. Something has changed, and it appears new speed has been found. And while the 77 car had found the setup needed for speed, 88 was struggling with issues.
It was a very mentally demanding week, I would say. From the Sunday test, I already felt something was off with our car. We were doing a lot of changes to the car setup-wise, but whatever change we did didn't fix the issue.
We're still searching. I think they're considering to change the rear subframe now. I think it's a mix with the braking because we have that rear issue, whatever it is. For me, the feeling is something is wrong with the rear. So we are compensating by going along to the front with the brake bias.
Qualifying at Le Mans is done first by the car's pro driver. In the case of the number 77, that's Ben Barker. And then if the car qualifies well, it can move on to the hyperpole, which will be done by the car's bronze driver. For number 77, that's Ryan.
How long until green?
I need to send you out as soon as possible. Currently P1, purple sector 2 and 3, sector 1, 1.5 tenths, 1.5 tenths.
Ben was able to find a new level of performance in the number 77 Mustang GT3, setting fastest time and fastest lap of the entire week, moving the car into the hyperpole tomorrow.
On rails. We worked a lot, the team worked tirelessly, full performance, Multimatic, worked a lot to get to here, to this point, and it just came alive,
I braked so deep into Multimatic as well.
Yeah, offline.
I was on the ABS all the way into the apex. I was like, oh my god, I made it.
I think we found something, hopefully something special, and still a long way to go, so I don't want to get too excited too early.
That sent us into hyperpole, where I got to take the wheel in hyperpole against all the bronze drivers. I was getting a bit nervous. I could feel the history of Ford and their history here at Le Mans, and the pressure of that was getting to me a little bit, but that's what makes you feel alive as a driver.
green flag, we can go. Yeah, keep pushing, and very good lap, mate, very good lap. Mega, below 4 minutes, mate, very good job.
Man, the car was unbelievable. The fastest I had obviously been all week.
Before is mega for the start of the race. You did very well.
But that was an amazing qualifying result. The best result so far year to date with the Mustang GT3 in any series.
While the number 77 found success, at least today, the 88 was struggling to find a setup or mechanical issue with a car that was limiting performance.
It became very clear to me that we really had to do a deep analysis of the car, and finally we found the subframe being cracked. It was a great relief for us, and we were hoping that this would be the solution.
Now it's a new start again. We have to start again on new.
Yeah, but you've got some reference.
I reckon we should just copy that car and drive it like that.
Start from there.
Now the car should be normal state.
Yeah.
And they are quite happy with the cars. We should just like do that basically. You think you will make it? But they have to push like hell to get it done.
After the deep dive, the problem was found: a cracked subframe. The nature of the fix prevented the car from participating in the last open practice session after qualifying. A new subframe needed to be shipped in and then installed. The car was unable to exit the garage until the short race warm-up just hours before the start.
This is my second time doing this driver's parade, and man, let me tell you, last year a lot of drivers had told me about it, told me what to expect, and they honestly undersold it. Like, I could not believe the amount of fans. It just never ends with, you know, how many people are there and how much yelling, and it is honestly one of the coolest parts of Le Mans. I mean, you get up close, you know, with all of us drivers, and man, it's an awesome atmosphere. It's a great way to kick off the race weekend.
After all the practice, qualifying, media sessions, and parades, we get to race day. Under the threat of rain and weather, all the teams, cars, and a few 100,000 fans make their way to the starting grid of the Circuit de la Sarthe.
Been thinking about this day for the last year. I have a good feeling about this race, for sure. Very good feeling. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And for me, having my family, I mean my wife, my oldest son, he eats like the Cookie Monster, like there's like chips like flying everywhere. And to share in those moments on the grid before the race starts, you know, the airplanes are flying over and the soldiers are dropping out of the helicopter. I mean, the goosebumps and the nervousness, just being able to experience that with all of them, I mean, these are lifetime moments.
Endurance races are more than just speed. There's driver, weather, tire, and pit stop strategy to be made.
A little bit understeer felt, but we were on a used tyre, like towards the end, just in tyre with some pickup and stuff, so.
Pits are really giving us good information about how long this rain's going to last.
Exactly. When it's patchy like that, it's really hard to...
It's saying it's going to be just cloudy from now till the race start, and then the sun coming out around 5, 6 o'clock.
Then gets the sunshine?
No.
I get the dampy beginning when the cars are out.
Yeah, Ben's going to dry the track for me, right? And then I'll go.
In the first part of the race, for me it's about saving the car, do your laps, stay out of trouble. Setup, I think I'll go definitely in the direction of 77.
What's the variation between us and 77 now then?
Well, we ended up with the same roll bar settings, we ended up with the same damper settings, we ended up with the same rake. It is the right direction to go.
I mean, for me, the only thing that makes sense is we should be as close as possible to them, because we know their car was working, they've been happy with it, and as soon as now we have found our issues, our car should be good with their setup as well. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
In 1923, a small group of motoring enthusiasts created a race to prove that cars could be reliable over the course of a day and a night of motoring. 101 years later, the 24 Hours of Le Mans remains the world's greatest test of motoring endurance.
The green flag drops under ominous skies for the 62 cars starting the race. The 3 Mustang GT3 teams starting in 4th, 14th, and 17th place in the LM GT3 class. All 3 cars are immediately on the pace.
I was second to go in the car. My teammate Ben started. He got us right up to second place right off the bat, and we were kind of controlling the race, riding behind the leader. And man, I had a great stint. We actually passed the leading car right in the pit lane. Our pit crew was unbelievable. Had a quick pit stop, and man, I was out there, up front, did our Mustang just as comfortable as I could be.
Starting 17th, my mindset was be safe, take it easy, and we'll see where we're at. But going in that first lap, I really felt we had a lot of potential in the car, and we were bloody quick on the straights. So our V8 engine was really giving us some good power, and I was managing to move up places. And I thought, you know what, we got a chance here, and we just sent it.
I had a triple stint, all went smoothly, came in, gave the car over to Zach, and yeah, I believe it was on Zach's second lap. He entered turn 2 normally, as he's done many times, and heard a snap and then lost all of the steering. I mean, he had no connectivity from the steering wheel to the front wheels, and the team jumped on it as soon as we got it back. Our team worked as fast as possible. I mean, the mechanics were working super quick but diligently, and but it took a little over 3 hours to get it repaired. It's just, it's bittersweet knowing that we were fast enough to win. We showed our true pace throughout the entire week, through qualifying, through hyperpole, and at the start of the race. It's tough knowing that you had that amount of pace and you don't get the result to match it. We got back out there 50 laps down, and the car ran flawlessly for the rest of the race. We pushed on.
The 77 car has been fast all week. It started the race with speed too. Like often happens in endurance racing, everything was going to plan until it wasn't. Meanwhile, the number 88 and number 44 cars have been plugging away, making passes, finding the speed, moving up.
At the end, coming into the last couple of stints, we were in 3rd position, but we had pressure from 4th and 5th place. It was still mixed conditions, it was damp, and it was a decision, whether we should take new rain tires or stay on Mikkel's tires. We wanted to put new tires. We knew the gap would be reduced because the 2 other cars opted to stay on the same tires and just keep going. It was just head down and push maximum I could. I could definitely feel the pressure. Everything's going through your mind that you just want to bring the car home. Going into the last couple stints there, I knew we could fight for a podium, and I really wanted it, so I was ready to do whatever it took. Either we get that 3rd place or we bid it. That was my own feeling and thought. I really wanted that to happen, and I was going flat out.
Slingshot engage. Let's go.
Crossed the line in 3rd, which was such a relief after all the hard work.
Congrats everyone, that's really nice with the podium. We really deserve that after all the hard work. Thank you to everybody.
It was a historic monument to come with the Mustang, the very first time, and to have a podium result.
Into the dark and into the rain overnight, consistency is the key in racing, and the number 88 car found it, and it kept it going all night long with a 44 right behind.
I don't care if I finish P1, 3, 5, 11, 15. I just want to experience the whole program, the whole race. And we did, and finished P4, so it's pretty cool.
We've all put so much work into this project, and to see, the team, come across that line in 3rd was really fulfilling. I left Le Mans saying, hey, One goal checked off, podium finished. But I can tell you the 77 car, we are focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's getting Ford their first win in an FIA World Endurance Championship.
I am confident that we are going to win races, and I'm looking forward to it because that day is going to taste so good, and we're going to work bloody hard for that.
Everyone wants to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Everyone wants to stand on the top step of the podium. It's the ultimate accomplishment in the world of endurance racing. The best teams and racers in the world are here, and they all want it just as bad as you. That's what makes a taste of any success here so worthwhile. The number 88, number 44, and number 77 all made it to the finish line of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The crews endured constant battles with fatigue, other cars, Mother Nature, and mechanical issues to finish 3rd, 4th, and 17th in LMGT3. The drivers, technicians, engineers, and support staff all prove they have what it takes to perform at one of the harshest endurance races in the world. The Mustang GT3 found success here. The team found new speed with the car. They found some of the fastest lap times of the weekend, and with their first attempt in the new Mustang GT3, they found their way to a podium at the 24 Hours of Le Mans.